Birds of Prey, issue 2. By my count, legacy number issue 200. Kelly Thompson writing with Leonardo Romero on the art. So, first issue ended with the reveal that we were going to Themyscira on a heist. Well, heist maybe not quite the right word, but it's effectively a heist to get a person to save
Prison Break.
Prison Break, yeah, to get Black Canary's sister and save her. And we get a little bit of context. Well, not all the context, but we get a little bit more context this issue. But you weren't here for the first issue. I assume you enjoyed the first issue.
I do. It's rather bloody good, isn't it? Because Kelly Thompson's quite a damn good writer. And Dan Romero's art is gorgeous as well. But I think, especially when you got a big team dynamic like this, having a good writer is important.
I think specifically Thompson's very good at having characters bounce dialogue off each other. It has a way of making it feel witty, and that there's a lot of like things being said without it being too overly wordy. It's a bit of a talent, to be honest.
It is, yeah.
So Zealot's not very happy that they're going to Themyscira because she doesn't want to kill Amazons, and Black Canary's like, whoa, I'm a hero. I'm not suggesting we
Who
kill
said
them.
anything about killing?
Where the plan is to be as stealthy as possible and not get caught. And she's like, what's the
like, we will get caught, but it's fine. We won't kill them.
And was it Meridian, who's the grown-up version of the girl from Gotham Academy, is like from the future and is giving them some intel, and then she vanishes out the scene. There's a lot of fun little things here as they're debating the possible plans and ideas. Barda saying I agree with the clown was quite funny. The bit with Harley saying she has a lot of questions and the panels just run off the page.
I loved this moment. I think that is a phenomenal use of the medium, and the way the art is just like, obviously it's funny anyway, but I think the subtle touch of this page specifically, and most of the pages, but they have such a strong margin around the panels, like just this big white margin. And here, not only does it run off out of margin to the right hand side because it keeps going, but also that when it finally comes back in, questions later when she interrupts her, it's actually coming in out of the margin as well. I think that's such a great little touch.
It basically kind of mimics like a fade in a movie. If you imagine fading from one point in time to another to just tell that time has passed and she's still going on about the same thing.
It's such a unique way of doing it because it's almost an opposite way of a fade, because this has such a continuous feeling, whereas like the panel doesn't end, it just runs straight into it almost, as opposed to these really structured panels like the rest of the book, which are, if anything, more fade-esque in theory.
Yeah, but Harley claims she's got a way to get onto Themyscira, which they're a bit dubious about, like, just going. In fact,
trust me, it's fine, just go with it.
In fact, she kind of ignores her at first, and Harley kind of forces her way into the panels a little bit by sticking her head in, which I also thought was quite good.
Yeah.
So yeah, they all get given like a task to go do to prep before they go to make their way to the docks and go on their trip. Zealot goes off to do something, Black Canary goes off to do something, and she sends a little team of Barda, Cass, and who are they with? That's Barda and Cass, I think. Yeah. And they all go off to do different things. Canary goes to see Constantine, which they're going to get something. I don't think they actually get into exactly what it is, do they? It's just sort of something magical she needs to get from him. And he takes her into the Oblivion Bar. There's a great transition here, actually, where they go through like a portal, like a rift in the wall, and they go outside the panel and become like almost like X-rays on the white background.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
It's really clever. It does that with Zealot and Harley as well.
Yeah, the next page where Zealot realizes Harley's following her and it gets upset her, and that's also good. So they end up, in this place. What is this place where all these, like, this magical realm, but there's all these...
Yeah, I don't know specifically.
No, I thought you might, but yeah, they end up in a big fight because this corrupt guy that Constantine gets his stuff back from to give to Black Canary has these big dudes in yellow suits.
Yeah, they're golems.
Yeah, golems, there you go. And they have a bit of a fight, and it just so happens that all the Birds of Prey have ended up here, so we get them all fighting together. It was like a big gorgeous 2-page spread with the fight happening.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, they had one of these in the first issue as well. One of these 2-pagers. But it's it flows very well. It's another example of the team working together, sets up that kind of stuff. And
the dynamism of the panels during this whole section, like in this off-kilter world. So like I mentioned before, how all the panels were like really rigid, really stuck to that margin. In this world, all the panels are slightly diagonal. They're just off-kilter, and it leans in or out of the page, depending on which page you're on.
Yeah.
And like the entire time they're in this world.
Yeah. You might even call it Dutch angles if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, I suppose you could.
Yeah. Which is, actually, there's a really funny moment here towards the end of the scene as well, where Canary's just asking about Barda and Cassie's mission, and Black Canary says, "Hey Barda, you didn't kill anyone, did you?" And Barda goes, "They live." And then Canary turns to Cass and says, "Cass," and Cassandra just sort of goes, and shakes her hand, yeah, it counts.
yeah, good enough.
Yeah. So yeah, the issue ends with them on the boat, and they're on their way to Themyscira. There's a giant megalodon and all that, but then Harley's contact shows up, and it's a shark.
Are we gonna brush over you're gonna need a bigger boat?
Oh yes, because Quinn is close to Quint, so she was really hoping someone would make that reference.
Which is fair, right?
Yeah, it's all right. I got a chuckle out of me. But yeah, so we got there's the shark who is the king of sharks. He's not King Shark.
It is. It's King Shark.
Is it King Shark? I thought it specifically said it in a weird way to tell us that it wasn't King Shark. Okay.
No, Nanwe's King Shark.
I thought it was King Shark first. Like when I saw him, I thought it was King Shark, but then he said his name in such a weird way that I assumed it was.
This is more okay. I'm getting more of the Harley Quinn TV show vibes of this King Shark.
Okay.
Here than other versions we've had in comics. Which I'm all for because that version's kind of great, but it's definitely not just like mindless, Suicide Squad version.
Sure. Yeah. So his plan is, or Harley's plan is to use him to control all the sharks, which are kind of the natural defense of Themyscira, and get past that way.
All I'm saying is, I am going to be outright angry if next issue when they get through the sharks, they wash up on the shores, if there's not a reference to a land shark. then I will be annoyed.
Yeah, that is a callback to Kelly Thompson's West Coast Avengers. For those of you who are not familiar with it, there was a land shark named Jeff.
I believe Jeff the Land Shark has one of those ongoing like Infinity comics that they do on the digital ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Jeff the Land Shark has become a thing outside of just that one book now.
Yeah, can I point out how the entire team have basically their normal gear plus like a scuba mask ready to go, but Barda's got like a bikini on.
Yeah, kind of great.
Which it just I don't know. She's just. It's just so weird that she's the one out of the group. You would think Harley might be the one who's like, no, I'm going to have a sexy bikini to go for the swim. But it's Barda who's like, no, I'm breaking out my swimwear. Yeah. I don't get enough of a chance for this.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd buy it. I love Barda.
Oh, dear. Like everyone's bouncing off of each other. It's very nice. I think the art is very good, particularly when it comes to the action and the layouts. I do think like the faces aren't necessarily to my taste all the time. They're a little bit flat in places, but solid enough. But I think the art really excels when it comes to everything else, basically.
Yeah, I think I understand why you would feel that way. I just don't. Right? I think for me, the faces work. They're so in keeping with the style. Of what's going on.
It's not enough to be like a negative by any means, but there's definitely some faces where I'm like, oh, I think this is the only part of this artist style that's maybe not completely clicking with me 100%.
That's fair. I'm into it. Also, I really like how their Constantine looked kind of a little bit older than we're used to seeing Constantine in the regular continuity, which I'm all for. Yeah. No, I don't know if it was quite as strong as say issue 1, because issue 1 had such the great task of like introducing all the members and having them all bounce off each other for the first time. And honestly, the big reveal of what they were actually getting together to do at the end was quite a big deal. This naturally doesn't have quite the same oomph at the end, but obviously King Shark's a fun reveal.
and I'm excited that in issue 3 we're actually getting into the heist or the prison break itself. So, and also the big threat from the future is that, you know, the Amazons keeping Black Canary's sister there is going to lead to all of their death, which is pretty ominous. So maybe we'll get more context for that as well as we go on.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come up at some point.
Yeah. So what are you rating Birds of Prey issue 2?
I'm gonna give it an 8. Yeah, I'll go with 8.
Yeah, I think that's straight 8's what I'm giving it as well. That's good. It's really good.